Hello and welcome back to Pillocks of Eternity.
Round two.
Round two.
We're gonna
against
Bells.
Ballsack. Have you seen the new Ghostbusters trailer?
I was actually interested for you to say that. I was just about to talk about it. Here's my take on the new Ghostbusters trailer. Oh, for Christ's sake, Lewis.
Well, that wasn't there last time.
All right, then.
All right, then, says it. All right, then.
I'm backing off now because I'm feeling like...
Here's my take on it, okay? I thought the trailer looked shite. But...
Right.
If you say the trailer looks shite, because so many people came out and said, women, this is shit. If you're saying the trailer looks shite, suddenly you're grouped with people who don't like it purely because the Ghostbusters are now women. That's not my beef.
Right.
My beef is, it looks shite. That's my problem with it. But if you say that, it's like, you sexist pig.
But
No, I'm not with those people. I just thought it looked shite. Like, I'm just watching it as a trailer. I really like Kristen Wiig and... is it
Melissa
not
McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
I don't know the other actors in it. And I thought, this looks like a bad movie from the trailer. I'm a massive Ghostbusters fan. I saw it in the cinema. It was amazing. Well, that was fucking easy. What?
I know.
What was so hard last time, Lewis?
I've no idea. I guess I didn't have any spells left or something. Everyone was just tired. They needed to have a lie down. Anywho, I handled it pretty well that time.
I thought, like, the jokes that they had in the trailer didn't look funny. It looked like there was going to be more action in it and more focus on, now they've got pistols and giant ghosts walking around and stuff. The original Ghostbusters is pretty action-free. Like, very little happens. It's more of a, sort of an 80s style comedy. It's pretty simple. There are some action sequences in it, but they're not good action sequences. They're funny. That's the thing. Like, the action in the movie is minimal. If you think about it, even when they encounter Slimer or whatever in the hotel, it's not like a massive set piece like it looks like it's going to be in this movie. It's very simple stuff. It's mainly about them, and it's just funny. Like, Venkman's very funny, and Dan Aykroyd's very funny, and it's about their rise to fame as Ghostbusters.
But they've got comedy female actors here, though. Melissa McCarthy is very funny.
No, they absolutely have.
Like, that Spy? Is it Spy she's in? That's really good.
I haven't seen that.
I mean, Bridesmaids was good, too.
I loved that movie. I thought it was fucking brilliant. And I also liked, there was a movie that she did where she was like a cop, and she was like a real badass cop. I can't remember what it was called.
Badass
cop. Badass lady cop. But it was funny. I mean, she is funny. I really like her. I like her a hell of a lot more than Rebel Wilson,
She's
who
great.
I don't think is funny. I think Melissa McCarthy is genuinely funny. And Kristen Wiig is brilliant. I loved her on Saturday Night Live. I think she's very, very, very funny. Oh, shit, there's the door. Hold on, dude. Shit.
Okay, you got...
All right,
don't worry.
you carry on. I'll be back in a sec.
I'll just fill. That's right. So I've found this pistol on the ground, fail stroke, and I'm trying to decide who should equip it. I don't really know what any of the properties do. I don't know what any of the stats do. It's got +2 stealth. It grants ambushing, which I don't know what that means. Does that mean when you attack from stealth? I guess so. So maybe I should be. Maybe that's a real thing. So I think I'm just going to give it to somebody. I don't really want to give it to Sigourney because she's got a decent looking bow already with damaging 3 on it.
Phew.
And I don't... it's all right. I was just discussing with the audience who to give a pistol to.
Okay.
And some people... I've decided to give it to Alof because I think it looks pretty badass and he needs to look better, cooler. Do you know what I mean?
I like making a decision that way. That's good.
I didn't know who to give it to, so I just gave it to him. Well, this fucking lever, I'm sure it's not going to kill all of my party.
Boom!
Fortunately, it just opens the door to the next area. So, yeah, I'm still in the lab. Who was it at the door?
The postman.
Was it postman? What have you had delivered?
Something for Mrs. F. I don't know what it is. It's about my height, and it's very sort of narrow. It looks like some poles of some kind. I don't know what it could be.
It's probably a real-life doll of you.
But incredibly skinny. Like, it's literally a very thin pole version of me.
Oh, my God.
Polion Flax.
This is a pack full of just unstable constructs.
Oh, my God.
Which
Run!
I'm now just terrified about. Because they're all just going to blow up on Mrs. Flax. I've sent her in as a sort of sacrificial lamb.
That's my wife.
But I'm now a little bit worried that she's just going to die instantly.
Yeah, she's in big
trouble. One of them's popped and she's still alive.
Yeah, well,
The
there we
second one's
go.
popped, and she's down. But she's not dead.
Well played.
So I haven't actually had. There's the third one.
Oh, my.
And Ed got taken down there. Now it's my back line of squishies against a burning flesh construct. But I think I can handle it if I just blast it with enough firepower. So I'm going to hit it with all my level 1 spells.
All right.
And hope for the best.
So what did you think of the new Ghostbusters trailer then?
Well, I thought it started strong, and then all of the jokes failed. The thing I liked about it was that it felt in the same way that the new Star Wars films, as opposed to the prequels, felt like the same universe, right? It felt like it was mimicking that look, that style, that feel, the graphics, just everything about it felt right, okay? Whereas the prequels felt like a CGI mess. They felt like a different world to the Star Wars universe. They felt like everything... It felt so foreign to Star Wars. I think
it looked wrong, didn't it? Yeah.
Everything just looked wrong. Whereas the new Star Wars films really worked hard to replicate that 80s vibe. And I think
But they also had new stuff like the Stormtrooper with that awesome sort of, oh my God, with that awesome anti-lightsaber baton that he had, that sort of crowd control nunchuck thing. It's like, that wasn't in the original movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks way too modern to have been in the original movie. But it fits, because he's dressed like a Stormtrooper.
It does fit.
And I don't care, because it's awesome, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have to add new stuff.
Yeah.
You always have to add stuff in but it has to fit in the right theme. I think maybe that was one of the big things I actually
Oh, man.
might have had a problem with. But I think that specific bit with that lightsaber, because I think that one thing I had a problem with in the Star Wars films was that lightsabers were supposed to kind of cut through anything, They were supposed to be this thing that, can just... It just cuts through everything and leaves like a black carbonic sponge, behind where it cuts through stuff, Whereas it felt this time like they were like... I don't know how I triggered that trap the second time. It felt this time like they were just scratching people like a sword or something. I was really disappointed actually in how... Because I thought lightsabers were this very, very dangerous, very final thing where one slip and, you lop your arm off. But it felt like people were just getting wounded by them left, right and centre. And I didn't like that at all, actually.
Huh.
I must admit.
You're wrong.
It didn't feel as...
You're wrong.
Because do you think so?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
'Cause
I mean, it is essentially just a laser sword, right? So...
Yeah, but it shouldn't just bounce off stuff. I thought the idea was that it could cut through anything.
Right, but it's still essentially force, right? It's still energy. It's an energy weapon. So if you have something producing some kind of force field, it's gonna be repelled by it. Like, if you were in a world where people were...
Why would it give you like a scratch on your face that bleeds?
Because it's not... Maybe it's not hot. Did you ever think about that?
But of course it is, because look at Luke's arm after his arm got cut off.
Yeah, but
don't you remember that? That's one of the most iconic scenes that I remember, when Luke's hand gets cut off.
He doesn't set fire to his
clothes. It's
clothes.
like all black and charred.
It doesn't set fire to his clothes.
Well, no, it doesn't set fire to anything, I suppose. What is it, cold? But I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of cauterized rather than cut.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess they are modelled on samurai swords, aren't they? They're supposed to be super, super, super sharp and dangerous and.
If you think about the prequels, they sort of melt that door in that stupid scene where they just mindlessly cut through some part of the ship, right? And it's just kind of boring and crappy.
Yeah,
I get it. Like it's obviously meant to be hot, but they never go, "Whoa, this thing's hot" when he's holding it. Like if you think about it, if you're holding it, it's quite close to your hand. If it was generating that much heat. You'd have to have some kind of a hand guard. You have to wear metal gloves. When he's holding it next to someone's face, I want to see their skin crisping. Like the amount of energy and light that thing's putting off. If it's hot, it should be burning the crap out of everything. So maybe it's just sort of it's force, and if it touches you, it just like slices through without necessarily burning stuff. Like if it was hot, I think a lot of the other stuff doesn't make any sense.
Well.
I want to see wavy air if it's that hot, like it's you're holding a molten sword of some kind. There should be some kind of heat effect if it is in fact meant to be hot. I think George Lucas just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, which is why it was melting through doors in the prequels, because he just has no idea what he's doing. But I think in the new ones, it's clearly just meant to be some kind of energy and force that is sort of uncontainable, but if you repel it with a similar force, then maybe you can just bounce it off, like in a sort of nunchuck thing.
Yeah, I mean, the nunchuck versus lightsaber thing, I wasn't so worried about that, because, you can almost tell it's like that could be devised as like an anti-lightsaber weapon. Not that they in that film were totally expecting to come across lightsabers at all. They totally weren't, were they?
Right.
So I mean, I could understand that they would build technology to like go up against lightsabers, but it felt like. I don't know. I just wasn't sure about it. I don't know. So there were certain bits of that.
I just think it looked cool. It looked cool. It made sense within that bit. It's only one dude, like the special anti-lightsaber stormtrooper that they bust out, and he's like, bring it, you know. And I thought it was a cool fight. I mean, all right, if something like that's meant to be that sharp and sort of dangerous gashes your face, I guess it might cut and leave some blood or whatever, but I don't know. All right, there may have been some inconsistencies. It's a Star Wars movie. It made enough sense to me that I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I'm just saying there were certain things that they changed, which were probably for the better or for the worse. Anyway, look, there's this construct here.
By the way, really looking forward to the comments on this video. Actually, Pyrion, the lightsaber is blue, blah, blue, blah, blah. Some nerd's going to come at me for daring to suggest.
Come at me, bro. Yeah, I don't give a fuck, actually. Do you know what? I really don't give a fuck. I can feel the way I feel, and I don't want to have that. Look, if you want to tell me stuff, and if someone writes some eloquent reply, and I'm like, actually, do you know what? You've changed my mind. I'm up for that.
Interesting.
Right? My mind is open to being changed, right, about how I feel about stuff. But my initial feelings about that, I was a little bit just uncomfortable, that's all.
Uncomfortable?
Yeah, I was a little bit uncomfortable.
Did you squirm and adjust your seat and like, a little uncomfortable with this? This isn't canon. Where's this going?
It just didn't quite gel with my head canon of how it worked, though. You know, that happens sometimes. You think, well, I didn't quite think it was that way. And then someone says, actually, yeah, it was this way. You just watched it wrong. I'm like, well, fair enough.
You didn't read the Timothy Zahn books or whatever his name is.
So I went back all the way across the map thinking that locked door was where I had to go. Oh. And in fact, it turns out that I can't even get through that locked door. So I have to go back into some sort of dining room.
I'm going to call this Trap Central right here.
Well, that's what I was worried about, but I just blundered in. I am in stealth, so I'm hoping... Oh, there we go.
Ooh, a key!
Experimental notes. And... so, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so Ghostbusters, overall... I don't know. I'm holding off until I see it for my verdict.
Yeah. It's fair enough. I'm just saying the trailer looked shit. Like the movie might be great, but if generally speaking, trailers can be very misleading. I mean, I've seen a lot of trailers and thought, "Holy shit, that looks amazing," and the movie's garbage.
Yeah.
But it's not often that you get a trailer that's terrible and the movie is really good. I do find you do get trailers that are really good and the movie's bad, but I don't think it's that often that you see a trailer that's terrible and the movie turns out to be really good. Someone did a fan recut of it that made it look slightly better. But if the fan can make a better trailer, I'm kind of thinking there's something wrong with the whole production.
Of course, a fresh fool to replace the last fools.
I found Galvino.
What brings you stomping through my workshop, eh?
All right?
I'm like...
This one's got spirit.
I'm pretty angry with him.
What do you think of that, my girl? A kindred soul?
You better hope not.
Now, that's the Devil of Karok, who I think has the worst voice acting ever. She's basically an American girl.
Okay.
And it sounds totally out of place in this game.
All right, let's hear it.
Like they all do. Boys with smooth cheeks and wild dreams.
So,
girls with bright ribbons tied next to their scabbards.
Lots of people come here.
Old men and women, too, seeking a final blaze of glory before they're snuffed out.
And
for another
he usually kills them all.
Sound familiar? I have this conversation.
Why are we here?
With every pig-headed swashbuckler.
Because
Postonagos and stalwarts send here.
He.
Go see Galvino, they
Go
say.
on.
Surely.
Because of that.
Must have slipped their minds what a busy and important fellow you are.
See?
She's talking into a cup.
Let them stone you.
I hate that.
Would have silenced your endless rattling forever.
Then you'd have naught but those frostbitten inbreds for company.
So, in any case, basically, the people of Stalwart send people here to get advice on how to get into Durgan's battery, right, and find the White Forge. Now, if they don't die to all of his constructs, then he sends them on to their death somewhere else, basically.
Oh, God.
And pry at the battery as if they were laying siege to some mouldering lord's keep.
Now, he's got quite cool
Those
voice.
stones were laid by some of the finest builders ever to have lived. They will not fall by the whims of any kith.
I'm sort of trying to skip it, though.
The door itself, it is infused with living essence.
And like 13. Boom.
Dwarves. Like,
This is the crux of the matter.
Belfetto.
The Pargrunen of Durgan's battery perished within their own keep. Surely in the village you have heard stories, no? The work of spirits still
Jeez,
trapped
bosh,
in
bosh,
All
bosh.
right.
Continue. We get it. Just over the door.
Pargrunen filled with essence. Oh, it was made to listen. To
So-
what traditional Optopo cultures revolve.
Apparently, you have to say the words, right? Like, you know that Moria?
Say friend and enter. Speak friend and enter.
No, Moria is like you have to say open in Elvish or whatever.
No, you speak the word friend.
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then he says, "Wait, Gandalf, what's Elvish for friend?" It's something like Melloc, and the door goes "Urgh," and opens.
You must speak with one of the
So we have to talk to one of the dwarves of Durgan's battery, okay? But unfortunately, they're all dead.
Okay.
However, apparently,
We can watch them and call it with their souls.
apparently their souls are lurking around in people in Stalwart.
Yeah.
Galvino, why don't you go back to Stalwart?
So we're like, okay, come back and help us, right? And he says,
I shall speak no more of that damned
No.
village.
Oh.
but don't worry, I'm a watcher. So I can just look into people's souls, right? And find out whether they're a dwarf of Durgan's battery or not. It's a very strange thing.
But the greater difficulty remains.
Why would people's souls stick around in other people?
Good question, Lewis.
You would have to awaken it.
Well, apparently it happens. So I have to awaken someone. And apparently that's a bit of a problem. Because if I awaken someone, right, they will suddenly be like Aloth. They'll be like half-half.
Oh,
And that's obviously a bit annoying for them.
there's a price to
You know,
pay.
because it might like ruin their life if I awaken them.
It is a monumental thing to impose on another, but
In any
these
case,
are the very people who wish to
Turns out
rediscover
that
the
he's
White
like-
Forge, Verus?
not the worst.
Can say.
Um,
None have yet opened Durgan's battery. But the ones that came before you,
Ooh.
I think they got close. You may wish to find them and see what they discovered. I have not seen them since they first came to see me several weeks ago. But word
they've
has
been
reached
kidnapped
my
by
ears
ogres.
they crossed an
they got
open
eaten by ogres.
An awakening is merely the jolting of a dormant soul into consciousness. When such things
All right. Bloody hell.
thus to awaken one of the former, but show some care.
All right.
These are moments
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it really goes on. But yeah. So Merwold, he was a guy, remember? Do you remember Merwold?
Yeah.
So he was the guy who went a bit nuts in our keep that we had to find back in the day
Yeah. Yep, that guy. I remember.
in the last series of Pillocks of Eternity. He had like a problem with multiple souls as well.
You haven't been to Stalwart in 13 years. And this what? Besides, I have need of you here.
So she wants to join me, right? She's a companion.
Ooh.
Um,
Right, let me ask you a question.
Go.
Charming
Would you have sex with a robot?
convicted murderer. The devil of she's called.
Mighty
Oh, maybe I should change it. Have you had sex with a robot? From your pause there.
Oh.
Again? No. Yeah, I'm just wondering because that will be a thing. I mean, I've pre-ordered a Vive, right? Because I love VR and I love the way it's gonna. I'm really interested to see how it turns out. And of course, the first thing Shane says to me is, there's going to be porn on that. And I was like, well, obviously. I mean, they're already working on plug-in accessories for VR porn. It's human nature. People like sex. People want to do sex on computers. When robots become a thing, maybe not in our lifetime, maybe towards the tail end of it, sex robots will be a thing. But I'm just wondering, given that people will have sex with real dolls and even inflatable things, people will have sex with robots too. I think it opens up a whole moral quandary, Lewis.
Let me tell you something about. I don't know. Anyway, okay, hang on. This is the Devil of Karok. She is a convicted murderer, okay, who was going to be killed, and he put her into this body, okay?
Oh.
And so she's basically a monster who has the voice of some sort of 22-year-old American girl. and I have to buy her off him for 1,000 copper pieces, which
Okay.
is less money than I found just killing all of his crap.
Yeah.
So quite frankly, sure, we'll have her. Stick her back in the keep. Use her as a gun turret. I don't know. Maybe she can make something. I don't know. Who knows? But actually, it turns out that she's like super amazing at traps anyway. So
Oh, awesome.
that's something which might help us in any case. She actually dual wields. She's a rogue character, and she dual wields. Calvino has a favour to ask, by the way, before I go home. He's got a problem with this guy called Grinde, right? Grinde.
Bloody Grinde.
Because apparently he was like some drug addict, and he got Calvino kicked out of the village. He's a ripple sponge addict.
Ugh.
Ripple sponge. But yeah, I think we'll leave this episode here, and we'll get to the end of this conversation, and then we'll head off, and we'll see you guys
So that's another 20 minutes of talking here.
next time. All right,
Yep.
all right, Calvino.
Oh my
Farewell.
god.
All right, guys. See you all next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.